Welcome to Computery Guy Tutorials. I am the Computery Guy, and today we're going to be talking about this button up here. It's called the Run button in Eclipse. If you're like a lot of Java developers that I know, and a lot of developers in other languages, you probably do a lot of your programming in an IDE similar to Eclipse, maybe Visual Studio or NetBeans, something like that. There's nothing wrong with that. It gives you a lot of functionality that you wouldn't get if you didn't use an IDE. One of those pieces of functionality is that if you just click on this Run button, in the background it takes your program and it turns it into, or it runs it and gives you the output. But have you ever stopped to wonder how that button actually does that? How it takes your program from being just this raw text to actually running and giving you output that you wanted to see from it? Wherever on your computer that you have Java installed, default is going to be C Program Files, Java. You're going to notice a few files, and one of them is probably going to be a JDK folder, similar to this version that I have right here. If you go inside of there, there's quite a bit of stuff. The folder that we want to go deeper into is this bin folder. And inside of here there are a ton of files, most of them exes. The two that we're really interested in are this java.c and java.exe. These are the two programs that your IDE is using in the background to compile your program and then run it and give you the output that you wanted to see from it. So let's take a look at how they do that. Out here in my file system, I've created a very simple Java program. It's just called Hello World. And if you right click on it and go to edit, it's interesting because even though it has a .java extension, it's really just a text file, and you can open it up in text editor like any other text file that's out there. As you can see, it's the same program that I had earlier. So let's go ahead. We're going to open up a command prompt in this window here, which you can do by holding down Shift and going to right click if you're on Windows. And Mac, I'm sure there's some other shortcut for it. Once you have your command prompt open, the first thing you're going to want to do is compile it, and in Java the compiler is known as java.c. Then you're going to want to give it the name of your Java program. When you hit enter, if you've built your program correctly and there are no syntax errors, you won't actually see any output on the command line. But if you'll notice now I've got an extra file in there with a .class extension this time. So that file is the actual Java bytecode that the Java virtual machine is going to be able to run to give us some output. If you'll notice, the first time when I ran java.c, I had to have .java as the extension. When I run just Java, it doesn't want that extension on there. It just wants hello world. It doesn't want any .class or .java anything. It just wants to know the name of the program, and it figures out which file to actually run from there. When you hit enter, we get hello world, and as you can see, we've got the output that we expected. So why should you care about this? As a good programmer, it's always good to ask questions about what buttons and functions that you're calling are doing. Back in Eclipse, it's easy to just click that run button and never wonder what it's actually doing in the background to make any of your program run, or wonder what's really happening. On the same note, it's really easy to call this system.out.println and never actually spend any time wondering how that works and what that's actually doing, never to learn about standard out. What makes a really good programmer is somebody who asks those types of questions, who asks things about what's going on in the background, what is this program really doing, what's happening that I haven't seen, and what can I learn about this, and how can it make me a better programmer. Thank you for watching. That was a video version of a tutorial that I've got out on my blog, allcomputery.blogspot.com. I've got lots of other tutorials out there, so feel free to check those out and see if you can learn something. Thanks for watching.